1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Do you hear me?
Guitar Stories Podcast, your #1 show for everything guitar.
Hello, Dan.
Hey, Andy. How are you?
Good.
Good.
We always seem so surprised when we start this podcast. Like, oh my God, we made it! Like number 41. I can't believe that we were on number 41. It was number 40 last week.
Correct.
What a surprise! I mean, it
Another
should
week.
not be a surprise that the next number is going to be 42.
Yeah,
But it will be.
but still, it feels fresh. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
it really,
cool.
really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you? All good? All things well? Because we haven't spoken
yeah.
pre-chat.
That is correct. We've been pretty
Genuinely
busy.
this
Yeah.
week.
Well, I'm still on parental leave, so I'm still enjoying the sun and the kids. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, mate.
Taking some time away from the guitar and not breathing, thinking, and what else? Sleeping, eating. No, Ibanez. I can't eat Ibanez, but at least not 24/7 Ibanez, which I love. But it's good to kind of get some distance to kind of recharge batteries and spend times with the kids. So that's lovely. Yeah.
That's good. I'm happy for you. Happy for you having all that time off. I'm not at all envious or angry or planning to take you down in any way. I feel good for you.
Not angry at all.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
So you had a birthday party last night. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've had 2 birthday-related things this week. The one was my son was 4 yesterday, and we had the easiest 4-year-old's birthday party I'd ever been to. It was just almost a breeze, apart from the fact that these kids were not paying any attention to the multitudes of activities we planned for them. They're like, no, I'm just going to go and sit on that tractor and fight over who's going to drive it around. Then we're going to solve it amicably. Okay. Don't you want to go and find the treasure? And don't you want to play this game, this dancing game? Nope. Just let me bounce on this trampoline and kick the football. Okay. So, yeah, that was a good one.
Life can be pretty easy, especially with kids. But you said they solved it amicably. Usually your kids, because how do they solve such a situation? I know, like that situation, it just comes down to hitting the other one. That's the way to find a solution.
Well, we had other kids, so there was a buffer.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just checking the chat comments because hello to everybody that's in the chat at the moment. We're checking audio, we're checking all the stuff. A few people said my audio is a little bit low, so I'm going to start speaking a little bit higher. It was a good week. Although I will wait for the news for this section, but I did make a bit of a birthday boo-boo today.
How come?
Well, I'm going to wait for the news section. So,
Okay.
it's called a tease in the business, in the podcast business.
Yeah.
What we would do now, we
people.
normally go to a break, a commercial break. So.
Yeah. Is it? By the way, speaking of breaks, is everything working fine? Because I read that camera is stuck a little bit. Is that already solved?
You look jerky as a piece of beef jerky.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. You're jerky as heck, mate. I don't know what's going on with you.
Do you want me to refresh quickly? I can easily refresh and see if that's.
Yeah, I mean,
out.
why not get rid of you and then have you back again? Because
Right.
Dan is moving with a very low frame rate, apparently. It's just me, everybody. It's just me. Finally, I have control of the show. Let's talk fuzz pedals. Oh, no. Dr. Dan is back. Oh, there he is.
How's that?
Still pretty awful. But your audio's good. So, that's fine.
I wonder what the problem here is.
I wasn't saying anything nasty about you, but I don't get rid of Dan. Okay, Valerie, we won't get rid of Dan.
I had YouTube on. Come on, I was listening to what you were saying.
Oh, sugar. Oh, in that case, that was the other Andy that you couldn't see. That was Bob.
All right, let me change to the webcam. Then. Let's see. We can try. I mean,
I don't know. Dan's apparently got super fast internet, but I don't believe it. Oh, yeah, I don't believe it at all. But yeah, I'd love to go to the news as soon as we sort Dan's stuff out, because there's some things happened today or last night, and also since then. Is that your webcam?
nope, that is your webcam.
Oh God, no one's going to know that you've borrowed my webcam. Therefore, that reference is really complicated. But now they know. What are you drinking? Is
Iced
that
coffee.
is that cow juice? Oh,
No, iced coffee.
oh,
Yeah.
I can't do that. It makes me gassy. Before we go to the news, I just need to point out that Studio Camille is still boss of the stream. So he got back on top of the boss stream last week by doing another super chat, and he's still boss of the stream. Which we need to unseat him. I'm actually tempted to give us a super chat myself if I had the knowledge and the funds.
That would be lame. That would be lame.
It would, wouldn't it? It'd be less lame if you did it though.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you stop typing people in the chat? I feel left out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just said hello.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. Should we do some news?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I'm not actually sure what's going to happen when we press these buttons on this live stream, because we actually have had a few technical issues. So let's find out.
Boom.
Oh, we're back.
That was loud.
That was good. All we did was just do that. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. In fact, I don't think the audience heard it. News. First news. Let me get my OBS screen up. We've got this one, which is there was a fire last night. So this is a serious news. A structure fire in Huntington Park, where boutique amp distributions build all their stuff. Which includes things like Friedman amplifiers, Morgan amplifiers, Wampler pedals, and the rest of stuff they do. Thankfully, firstly, nobody was hurt, and lots of news was going around that things were destroyed and things were really in bad shape. But there's been an update from Avi from Boutique Amp Distribution. I beg your pardon. And he said that the manufacturing building was ablaze earlier this evening. The fire department did an amazing job. Hang on, let me bring that so everybody can see it. There. The fire was an amazing job. The fire department did an amazing job in preventing the fire from consuming the entire structure. The firefighters are the true heroes. They absolutely are. The back portion of the building, and there's a portion of the building that is not part of Boutique Amp Distribution. And that's the part that was on fire. So it's not actually Boutique Amp Distribution that was on fire. It was the other part of the building, which was leased by somebody else. And I was talking to our good friend Henning earlier, who happened to be, as he is, on the phone to another person whilst I was talking to him, because, two hands. And he was talking to Dennis Schock from Boutique Amp Distribution. And Dennis said that they'd put up this wooden wall of 2.5 centimeters thick. Is it OMC, OFC, something with O in it, and that stopped the fire. Believe it or not, a 2.5 centimeter wooden wall stopped the fire from going into Boutique Amp Distribution.
Wow.
So yes, they're fine, but now they're sadly suffering water damage, which you can read on screen if you're watching the video, because of course putting out fires require water, which is. It's kind of sad and ironic, but it's going to affect everybody. But I guess we don't know how much. They don't know how much. There's no official statement I've seen yet, because they said they were going to send it to me, and they haven't. Let me just check. No, but yeah. Any thoughts on that, Dan?
Well, making a already tough situation already even more tough with spare parts and the general supply situation. But like you said and like you wrote, it could have been much worse. So I'm very happy to hear that. They just suffered some damage, but it wasn't consumed all by the fire. I mean, we've seen that, especially with the bush fires and stuff like that. When buildings are gone within minutes.
Yeah.
And especially they work with wood, obviously, so that's stuff that's pretty easy to burn.
Absolutely.
Well. Hopefully the guys can get it up and running there quickly. That would be good to see.
I hope so, but again, we'll. I can't. I was going to say something like I was a real news presenter. We'll keep you posted. We won't because we don't know anything either. I was just trying to be positive
Stick with
and
us.
wish them well. So all the guys, if you're
Yeah.
listening, because I know you do, I wish you well from us at the Guitar Stories podcast. And keep making amps and pedals, please. We need them. The world needs your stuff. News item number 2 is that it is my birthday in 10 days' time, which we kind of mentioned on the podcast last week. And I've posted a video on the channel saying that I am officially now giving away 40 prizes thanks to the brands that I've partnered with. And the channel needs to have 40,000 subs. It increased today by 300, which is more than it has done in a while in a day. But we still need to keep going. And I've got some awesome prizes. And I thought we could give a little sort of preview because I'm doing an update video in a few days.
Oh yeah.
To actually nail down what it is that we're giving away, because I only knew certain things. So, would you like an update, Dan, and people of the podcast?
Absolutely.
Good, because I was going to do it regardless of what everybody says, because I want to. Just bringing up the spreadsheet now, Dan. Because I'm that organized. We have in almost
Didn't you give away
alphabetical order.
already
What?
couple things? Didn't you give away already a couple things with yesterday's video that has already 2,000 clicks?
No, nothing. You got
No?
nothing.
In the thumbnail, I can see some things.
Oh yeah.
Was
Oh,
it
you
just
no.
me-
Sorry,
me-
hang on. You mean give
me-
away what things are included? I
Yeah,
thought you meant
yeah,
give
yeah,
them
yeah,
away,
yeah.
as in give. Well,
No.
that's a new thumbnail that I added today once I had things locked down. So
All right. Okay.
here we go. In almost alphabetical order, we have a Vespa fuzz pedal from Beatronics. That is awesome. I've played it. I have one. It's brilliant. We have a Bulldog guitar hanger, a very high-end aluminium guitar hanger that I have also. A Carl Martin Plexi Ranger.
Ooh.
A GR. Hang on. You have to. What is this?
Probably a GRX 40.
A GRX 40
Yeah.
from Ibanez.
Where's the jingle?
Oh, I can't do spreadsheets and jingles. Do you want to say it, Dan?
Ibanez.
That'll never not be funny. So yeah, we're giving away a guitar. Thank you, Dan, for organising that. Yeah, you're a legend, and someone's going to win an Ibanez. IK Multimedia are giving away Amplitude 5 Max plus Total Studio 3 Max plus 3 lots of 500 custom shop credits, which is a total value of about 500, 1,000, about 2,500 euros, which is awesome. Isotope are also giving away lots and lots of stuff. A Mix and Master bundle plus some community appreciation bundles. We use Isotope software on this podcast, so we love them. Jupiter Effects is giving away a pedal of your choice. I won't give away everything. I'll just give away some things that I've already announced. Orange are giving away a Terra stamp. Walrus Audio are giving away the new Polychrome flanger, which is the one we talked about on the show maybe last week, the week before. We've got some stuff from Two Notes, some microphones from Lewitt, and some guitar courses and one-on-one Skype sessions for learning with a certain friend of mine who used to play with Brian May, Mr. Jamie Humphreys.
Ooh,
so, yeah.
nice.
So there's some great prizes, and I'm so happy that everyone was super involved in getting this done. So I hope the channel reaches 40,000 so we can give them away.
No.
If you haven't subbed already, maybe you should do it, It's easy.
That should
I'll
be
drop the
easy,
link
yeah.
actually into this video description if you're listening and watching on YouTube. If not, I'm sure you can find me by... Oh, go to my Instagram and it's on the bio link because YouTube are weird about posting links.
By the way, isn't there a stretch goal too?
There is also 2 stretch goals, Dan. Thanks for pointing them out.
Wow.
If we hit 45,000 subscribers, which I really don't expect us to, but why not? I've forgotten the stretch goal for that one. What was I going to do for you know that one? You know more than I do. You were watching on your living room TV.
I was actually thinking about the 50k stretch goal.
Oh,
But what was the
50K.
42? Remind me again.
Someone in the chat will remind me what the 45 is, but the 50k, I'm going to give away my Boss Centaur.
Enclosure.
So, yeah, it's not actually a Boss Centaur. It's not a Boss and it's not a Centaur, but it is a pedal that looks like a Boss Centaur if a Boss Centaur existed, called the CT3, which I built for the April Fool's prank. It's just an empty shell, and it does nothing. It doesn't even light up anymore because the battery's dead. But I'd have to take the battery out if I shipped it. So I really don't want to give that away. But if we reach 50,000 subscribers, then I will give it away. Does anyone know what I promised for? Oh, yeah! Thank you, Christopher Lewis. Thank you. I totally... Oops, I've clicked the wrong button because it's scrolling so fast. Christopher Lewis, if we hit 45,000 subs, someone gets to be crowned king or queen or any other title they want, that within reason, of the not the channel, but the subs for a whole year. Well, half a year.
Ooh.
The rest of 2021. So
Okay.
you could be King Dan, for example.
All right.
Or what title would you choose?
What title? Maybe something like, I don't know.
Dan
The Emperor?
the Emperor. Just the Emperor, not even Emperor Dan.
No, the Emperor. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, speaking of Star Wars, today Andy sent me a text and he was telling me he's Batman, and I replied, "Okay, I can deal with that as long as I can be the Mandalorian." And Andy, can you elaborate what you retexted?
And I wrote back, because I'm a lyrical genius, I am the Batmandalorian, which is the crossover we need. Imagine that. Batman is the Mandalorian. And the Mandalorian is Batman, and they have all the the belt and all the things. It's pretty close. It's just Bruce Wayne's got a lot of money.
That's cool. Like a Batman made of Beskar. The Batmandalorian.
I like it.
I
like it. Anyway, so that's the giveaway. We're going to do some gear now. We've got some new gear picks. Yeah, all right. Before I do, Henning's in the chat. Hello, Henning. And there are some prizes someone's not mentioning. That someone is me. And Henning is giving away one of his drum courses, which is phenomenal and great to eat popcorn to. He's also giving away something else. And Henning, if you don't mind, I'm not going to tell people what that is yet because it's so awesome that I want people to wait. Dan doesn't even know what it is, so I barely know what it is. But it is so awesome that I'm not going to mention it until I do the announcement video because it's brilliant. And Henning's going to be probably in that announcement video just to announce them himself, because why not? Okay, we have our guest. Sure. He is in the green room. We're going to run through the gear picks of the week, and then we will be joined by our guest this week, Anthony.
Yeah.
Dan, do you want to go first?
Yeah, please. So let me just quickly switch it.
Pick up the week. Pick up the week.
Pick up the week. Hello.
Hi, Dan.
Hi. Got
some gear for us?
Maybe.
I really hope so.
No. Actually, I'm just wondering why you don't see any gear, because I'm switched. Oh, let me quickly just cameras here, because otherwise
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There you go.
Ooh.
Can you see the gear? Yay! Now I can see it.
They look nice. What are they?
These are Manson guitars, and they revealed a spectacular collection of 10th anniversary models, the MA series. I don't know what MA actually stands for, but I really like those. So Manson guitar...
be Manson anniversary?
I think the MA is already a established name, like RG or, but I could be completely wrong.
Mandalorian Andy.
Actually, it's... Yeah, probably. They write it's based on the MA Evo body shape, which is even funnier. But anyways, yeah, guitars made of swamp ash. 10 unique guitars with like very cool specs, like Sustainiacs in the bridge position and so many knobs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And the colors. Let me just browse through a couple colors. These are pretty wicked. Look at these. Is that nice?
I'm still seeing the same image.
No, why is that? I wonder why is that? It should refresh within a second. The Batmanson DeLorean. That's also
Oh,
good.
this is
Yeah.
getting good. Look at those. They are sparkly. They are sort of T-shaped.
Yeah.
Are they B benders or something behind the bridge on that one, or is that? Oh, no, that's an effects pedal built in, isn't it? Being Manson.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So
Rawr.
you've got so much. I think they have a custom circuit like a Fuzz Factory or a Night Sky or stuff like that, and roasted
digging that.
roasted necks with flame maple, ebony rosewood or rosewood fretboards, and so many knobs. I'm just intrigued just to fiddle around with these, and just give them a little bit of a try run on the pedal course. I mean, they look cool, and especially the blue one. I thought this is something that you might enjoy too.
Is that the Night
should
Sky, the one
switch-
that's on screen right now? Whatever the one is at the top image right now, with sort of, it looks like a Night Sky, but with
Could be, yeah. Could be.
it kind of
Currently-
looks. Oh, hello! I like this. This
How do-
is
The blue one is nice, right?
this is a blue one, and if you haven't
Yeah.
seen this, if you're listening to the audio version, go and check these out. I'm sure they're on Instagram. I'm sure that's where Dan found the pictures. I like it. I like it
Yeah.
very much. And anyone in the
That-
chat that thinks that it isn't nice is obviously a doo-doo head.
Yeah, these are very nice. Oh, again, the phone is ringing.
Oh, Dan's. It's the doo-doo head.
Yeah, probably. Oh no, it's Matt Bellamy. He's calling.
It's Matt Bellamy. Stop showing pictures of my
Dude!
guitars.
You're getting the specs wrong. Well,
All right, I like that.
What am I
I like
doing?
that.
yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I will
And,
say though, the tailpiece on it looks very strange.
well, it's just a regular Tunomatic bridge.
No, the
and,
tailpiece looks like it's got tiny little.
Oh, like the tailpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that? Oh, I think that's probably just something to retain the bar so it doesn't get loose once you change strings.
Ah. Oh.
You know,
Oh well.
because that's one of the most tedious things when you have a Les Paul and with a nice top and you change strings and then all of a sudden the hardware is kind of stretching on, over the top. Oh, that's B stock now.
Yeah. Got a house full of B stocks, mate.
Yeah.
What else have you got for us, Danielson?
Pick number two is this little fellow, and it might take a second until it's there. Do you know this guy?
That's Lee Malia with an Epiphone RD, his signature Epiphone RD, and I
That's
love
correct.
that Epiphone RD.
That is correct. And this is why it took me by surprise to find out, and this is actually not news, it's more like olds, that he is now with another company called Paoletti Guitars, which is an Italian guitar maker.
Oh,
And, they have, like,
great
a whole-
stuff.
Yeah, they have a whole series. I mean, the old ones, these ones, you're probably still very well aware of the Artisan Les Paul, the RD, and also the Explorer, because I think
Yes.
those were fan favorites. You should see the image pretty soon. And so I was really surprised to see him leave Epiphone and go with Paoletti. And
I
have
love that Explorer. I
couple-
love that RD. I'm not a massive fan of that Les Paul, but it actually is growing on me seeing them all three together. So yeah.
But wait until you see the new stuff.
on
I
then,
mean,
show us the
Paoletti,
new
like I
stuff.
said, is the pictures incoming. Just give it a sec. There you go. How's that?
Oh,
We Isn't that nice? So what do we see? We have a Jazz Master. It's called the 112 Loft. Lee Malia's signature. It's
Oh, man.
it features a P90 in the neck position and a regular humbucker. And that's a gorgeous looking guitar. It's got a sunburst finish that is already distressed, heavily distressed.
Mm.
And I like the specs because it's a little bit it goes away from the traditional style because, for instance, it's got a reclaimed chestnut body, and this is something that I find
Chestnut?
intriguing. Chestnut, yeah,
very
that pretty
strange.
cool?
Very strange.
yeah. And then you have a P90 and a PAF pickup. So in the neck, actually, that's also interesting. The neck pickup has 7.8 kilo ohms, the P90, and the PAF on the bridge only has 6.8 kilo ohms with a coil
Okay.
split.
Well,
So
I
it's
actually wondered who Lee Malia was because before he had the Epiphone signatures, I had no idea who this guy was, and he's the guitar player in "Bring Me the Horizon." Is that
yeah,
correct? Is
correct.
that how you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
it?
yeah. Yeah. Young
And
dude. I
sitting,
mean, he's
yeah, good
yeah.
player, good band. I got into the band because of Epiphone, and I really like the piloted guitars. I like the way they have this finish that just lets the grain show through so beautifully. I think it was Darryl Brown that had one like a Strat type one, and it's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely gorgeous. And the pick guard arrangement is beautiful. Yeah, I dig it hard.
Yeah. Also, the second, like the traditional, it's called the stratospheric loft. Stratospheric. It's also pretty nice,
Yeah.
with the body wood that you can see through. It looks
Mm.
like a guitar from the '60s that has been heavily played. So it's called light melon finish, light melon yellow. Again on a chestnut body. I'm really intrigued to see, and would love to try them out just to see how chestnut reacts and how well these guitars are made. And given it's an Italian luthier, we might see them at a, I don't know, maybe Guitar Summit or something like a
I hope
Holy
so.
Grail show or something. Yeah.
I hope so. Henning is spamming the chat with comments, just hoping that we pick one of them. So I have.
Is he picking on me because I was talking about kilo ohms?
Yes, probably.
Well,
Nerd! Nerd alert! I dig it. I dig it. I like it. Do you have 2 picks or 3 picks this week?
I've got one more.
Okay, one more. What is your
let
one
me-
more,
let me-
sir?
My one more is in.
Hang on, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm ready.
Okay. It probably is going to take a while because today was release day for a couple Ibanez news. There you go. And this wonderful guitar that you can see here is like the top of the line model for the Advanced Acoustic series. And what I find striking about those is not just like the regular configuration of the woods, it's spruce top and all high-end woods. But what I find pretty cool is can you see the neck, how it goes into the body?
I can.
Isn't that gorgeous?
I mean, we
I
should
mean, that's a
probably describe
guitar-
it for the podcast, but I
yeah,
can see it.
it's kind of tilted and smooth, so you have the full access. You can actually put a capo on the 13th thread. So 13th thread. I mean, that's insane, right?
Are you telling
I've never
me
put it-
there are acoustic guitars that have frets more than 5? Hang on.
Yeah, but don't tell anyone.
I need
It's
to
a
see
secret.
these things. I need to
Yeah.
see these acoustic guitars with more than 5 frets on them.
No, really, like Advanced Acoustics. We've talked about those. They have
Yeah.
a new body shape. It's called Grand Dreadnought, and they're supposed to be, for the modern player. They have like a tiny magnetic pickup in the neck position, and they have a lot of like modern style pickups, a transducer pickup and stuff like that, and you can blend it in. So it's ideal for those kind of tapping players that hit the body pretty hard.
Oh, I've just seen a comment on the live chat from Michael.
What was that?
These picks were all burners for me in the buy, borrow, and burn. Dan, you are not doing well, son. You're not doing well.
I can live with that. No problem at all.
Wait till
No
they see
problem
what
at
I've
all.
got. What else have we got, Dan? I mean, how many pictures have you got of these Ibanez guitars?
Well, that's just the same. It's called the AAD 400, which is
Yeah.
top of the line model.
Yeah.
And then what I really like, because we had him on the show, is the JGM 5, which is a more affordable
Oh.
version of the John Gum signature guitar.
And
that's
how much
pretty
more affordable is
cool.
that?
It's like half the price. Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's half the price.
So twice as affordable.
Which put
If I just done the math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is correct. And what's striking here is that the sides and the back, they are not made of solid wood, but apart from that, it's pretty much like the original one, and it clocks in at half of the original price. And accompanying this signature guitar, we also have a regular model. It's called the PA300, which is the little sister of the John Gum signature, and it's a little bit comparable, like Steve Vai and the RG series. So you have the fancy signature guitar with the black top and the Fishman pickups and everything, which is more expensive. Not crazy
Yeah.
expensive, but more expensive. If you go for the JGM JGM 10, that's like very expensive. I mean, a guitar for 3,000 euros, it's not something that everybody can afford. But with that said, or 3,500 euros. But with that said, with the PA 300, you've got a package that has like the core ingredients are pretty much the same. The pickups, they are changed for similar ones, but less expensive from Ibanez. But the scale length is the same. The wood is very close. And the overall feeling of this guitar is pretty close to the signature guitar. And this is what I like a lot. And I've played all of them already. We have prototypes and like early samples already in the office. And I'm very, very pleased with these. And what I find interesting, and that's again where we're diving, I mean, this is called the guitar story. So we're diving a little bit deeper into the nerdy stuff. 2 points that I would like to point out. One is the asymmetrical body. Can you see that it's kind of, shifted? Like the upper bout of the body is a little bit lean towards the headstock and the lower bound. Offset, yeah, a little bit like an offset guitar. Not really offset, but slightly. You've got thermo-aged woods, and what I find interesting is that the scale length is actually extended. So it's a 25.75 scale. So 65.5 centimeters. It's a little bit longer. And this extra length is actually supposed to give you a little bit more snap when you detune the guitar and when you do like crazy open chords and stuff like that. And that works pretty well. So I tried it already a little bit, and I'm by no means a fingerstyle player, but the resonances and the sounds that you could get from those, that was pretty good. So yeah, these are my picks. And everyone who's in the market for a more modern progressive guitar, check out either the AAD or the JGM or the PA 300. A lot of interesting offerings, and yeah, they got released today, so I found it was a pretty appropriate pick of the week.
Yeah, and I just realised I've been playing the wrong Ibanez jingle. It's that one. Beg your pardon. Beg your pardon to all the people that were expecting that one.
It's much more pleasing.
Yeah, the bicycle horn is for no one. That we don't even have. We need someone to deserve a bicycle horn, but we do have the DJ air horn. But I'm not going anywhere near that. Okay, interesting picks, Dan. Shall we just do mine and then we'll talk to Anthony?
Yeah, of course.
I've only got 2 this week.
Andy's pick of the week.
Pick of the week this week. Here we are. The first one is this one. It is a whole bunch of Gretsch guitars, and I've recently got into Gretsch. I've never really picked up many Gretschens, and when I went to Klangfarbe, I picked up a few, and I was really surprised how much I like the more affordable ones. Like, it's pretty clear that if you're going to pick up a €2,000 Gretsch or 3,000 Countryman or something, that's going to be a classic guitar. And the Brian Setzer one. But I picked up the ones that were sort of sub 500, and they were really fun and a really cool alternative to like an Epiphone Les Paul Jr. or something. But now we've got these 2 new models from Gretsch, the Streamliner Center Block and the Center Block Junior P90s. So I've got a bunch of pictures for those people that are in the visual world. This is the Junior P90 on screen right now, and it's like a champagne finish. Don't quote me on the colors because I am not a nerd. But there's another one. This is called Minty Green, and it's got a Bigsby... Minty Green. I'm making these names up. To describe them, this is a smaller body, so it's a junior. So it's not like a sort of 335 size. It's more like a Les Paul Junior size, but it's semi-hollow. It's got a Bigsby trem on some of them and a hardtail on some others. They're all P90s. It's got some really subtle inlays on this, which I can't quite see what they are from the pictures, but they look kind of like, I don't know, like hexagons or something like that. And then they've got... a taut guard, which is gorgeous. I think that they've
fits the
nailed
minty
the
green
design.
finish very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me just. I'm trying to just pick there. This is my absolute favorite. This one is. I'm actually going to find the color for this. This is gunmetal, even though it looks blue in the picture. This is the. Wait for it. Hang on. Wait for it, Ibanez fans. G2622T-P90 gunmetal.
Love it.
It is more 335. It's a bigger body. And and they're only, I say only, they're about 599 for this in euros for this model, or 559 and 500 for the. Hang on, 559 for the ones with the Bigsby, and a little bit less, like $50 less for the hardtails. So
Are these
yeah,
the pickups? These are P90s. Is that like a metallic cover?
it's like a staple color.
All right. That's pretty
Um,
cool. I'm digging this color hard. I mean, this is a very
This
subtle kind of blue grayish
very
tone.
nice. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
dark Pelham blue, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
like if you tried to paint Pelham blue, but you just painted black and didn't wash your brush properly. That's what that looks like.
Oh, all right.
They do one in tobacco burst, which is probably not called tobacco burst, like a barrel burst. They do the same color in the junior, which is hardtail, and
Oh, the tailpiece. The tailpiece.
the
is
V
nice.
tailpiece. I just think it's gorgeous.
It is.
It's
It
got-
is.
It's got a slim U neck as well, which I've never played in my life, as far as I know. So, yeah, we'll see about that. See if I can get one there. So hopefully, there's lots of love for this in the chat right now, because I think these guitars are brilliant and they're priced appropriately.
The bodies.
think it's
Did
great.
you already mention the body woods?
No, let me go up. The body wood is wood. No,
All
it's a laminated mahogany body.
That's
At
good.
least on one of them, a NATO neck and a laurel fingerboard. So they're using slightly alternative woods, meaning the price comes down, much like other brands these days.
Yeah, that's a good point. And with semi-hollows out, I'd always go for laminated sides and backs, and I mean top, obviously, because otherwise it's just you get so many dings and dongs over time if you play it. There's no point in having solid woods on a jazz guitar. Doesn't make any sense.
The spruce there's a spruce center block, on the larger ones that I forgot to mention.
All right, cool.
So giving it that little bit of snap. Yeah, I'm so into these guitars. I wanted to play one.
Are you trying to get them on the channel too?
Of course. And I may have already succeeded. Who knows?
Oh, right.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, I can always pop to Klangfarbe and Vienna. They'll always let me play them. So I've always got access to Gretsch. I'm going to move on to my next pick, which is the new pedal from TC Electronic, which I managed to review this week. And I just happen to have the only one in the world. So, it was pretty fun to do that. Humble brag. Humble brag. Not so humble. I dig this pedal, Dan, so hard. And I'm not saying because they sent it to me and I have to say nice things. That's not the way I operate. I was so surprised by how much I loved this €55 pedal. It is staying on my board. It is so good. I had so much fun with it. It's just like a clonny kind of overdrive, but with a fat mode, and there's a few more tricks up its sleeve. It's just good. You just come across something sometimes and it's good. That's it. It's good.
I think when I read about the pedal, I saw that was it the company itself, TC Electronics, that described it like in comparison with a dozen clones, like 10 times the clone power or something, or was it someone else? I'm not sure.
I didn't read that, and it wasn't me, but
okay.
I don't know. But it's one of those pedals that I don't care what it's based on. It's 55-ish bucks, and it sounds great. So what's to argue? And it's also not a rebranded Behringer pedal, which people are asking a lot. It's a new design from TC.
That's pretty cool.
And there is some hints that TC are kind of coming back, in the sense that they're not just bought into Music Tribe. They're actually going to be coming back with what I would say is arguably some of the best reverbs and delays in the market of recent times. I love the TC stuff. Since Music Tribe, since they joined Music Tribe, and since they're Behringer owned, things changed a lot. But it seems that things are changing again. And I'm skirting around some things that I'm not allowed to talk about. So...
What I find interesting is that it's got so many hidden features, like the switch between true bypass and buffered bypass. Oh, there you go. Oh, Andy is well prepared.
Oh yeah.
So that's stuff that you find on pedals in that price range necessarily. And did you mention in the video, because I kind of didn't watch it from the very start, that it's limited edition?
They're making 2,000 with germanium. Wait a minute, diodes. I said transistors in my video. I think someone got confused. It was probably me. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so they're making 2,000 with these germanium diodes, and
All right.
that cleverly they're not saying they're only making 2,000. They're saying the first 2,000 will, or they're saying that the 2,000 will have germanium diodes. They have not said, and I read this clearly or carefully, that there are not going to be any more. So I don't know if that's
Mhm.
clever marketing. I genuinely do not know if there are going to be more, but it's clever marketing to say that they're limited. I don't think they've said anywhere that it's limited to 2,000. But what I can say is that since I posted the video, I can tell through my affiliate links that when people buy stuff, a lot have been sold.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh
Reminds me a
my
little bit of
goodness! Sorry, Dan. We've got a new
No way.
new boss of the stream. Cheddar
No
Kung Pao,
way.
nonetheless, has just dropped a massive $10 super chat and is now king of the stream. King of the stream? No, boss of the stream. You can be king as well,
Wow.
Dave, my friend. It's nice to see you, and I miss you. Sorry, I overexcited, Dan, but yeah. What were you going to say, Dan?
I was just about to say that it reminds me a little bit of the PV guitars, the new old stock ones, where they said that they're going to build the first ones from their old NOS wood library, and then
Yeah.
kind of proceed with the next batch with newer woods. So that could be something. I mean, 2,000 pieces is still a lot, given that the pedal hype that we currently see. Pedals, they are hyped one day, and then 2 weeks after that they're kind of forgotten. After that
Look,
initial rush,
For me, that's a
it
top
will go
tip,
down.
Dan. That is close to,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say pedal of the year, but certainly for me, big surprises of the year, you know?
All right, that sounds good. Very intriguing.
When you take
yeah.
the price into account, always taking the price into account, for $59, I was truly, truly shocked to be having so much fun.
Oh.
And I've,
Well, I saw the video. It's pretty cool.
thanks. Yeah, I've got another pick, and then we can go on to Anthony. We've got some Gibson guitars, which I don't really talk about a lot, but I had to, because I have to be honest with you guys that I was floored by this color, which is my consistently favorite Gibson color, olive drab green. And they've done this series. It's called the Exclusives Collection in olive drab and ebony finishes. And I just had to share it because I think the olive drab is my favorite finish. My favorite one is the Chris Cornell 335, or one of the threes, in olive drab, the one that was in A Star Is Born, that Bradley, I never remember his surname, Bradley Cooper. I always want to call him Bradley Walsh, which if any British people are listening, you know who that is. He is a TV presenter. It's nowhere near Bradley Cooper. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I'm going to run through these very quickly because there's loads of them. There's another picture of it if you're watching.
I'm hiding that.
Oh, you're hiding
sitting
that
behind me.
Okay, that's just a little
Yeah.
sneaky then. There's a Les Paul version, which it doesn't work for me.
Nope.
Doesn't work for me.
Just looks
We've
wrong.
got the Ebony Les Paul, which when I sent this to you, Dan, what did you say?
I was like, I don't really see a point that ebony is an exclusive color. I mean, with the olive drab, like you said, it reminded me a lot of the Chris Cornell signatures. But with ebony, it's just such a what? HP is now the king.
Hang on a minute. Has he just super chatted €50?
Yeah.
What have I got to do? Because this started off as something silly. Now it's got super silly. Mr. HP42 has just super chatted €50. He wants to be king. Dan, I'm finding no reason to argue with that.
Not me neither. Actually, I was thinking, like, I think someone posted already next week. Do we already have a guest for next week? Because otherwise we would probably have to invite Henning.
We do already have a guest. We have an exclusive next week.
All right, okay.
I can say that we have Mikey Demas from Redbeard and Skindred, the band. and he's going to be coming on with an exclusive. So,
All right.
yeah, sorry, Henning, unless you've got a big red beard and play left-handed. We should have done Henning for 42, though, shouldn't we? What a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Let's do it for 43 just to annoy him. Thank you, Henning.
No. We have another cool guest, Luke, the week after that, because this is the day before the guitar auctions, and we are going through the coolest picks right before the auction starts, like 24 hours or even less. So that will be an amazing episode to kind of just drool over what they have to offer. So you just kind of switch to the ES version.
Yeah, that's the ES also in ebony from Gibson.
Yeah.
I dig it, but it looks a bit plastic to me. It looks like it needs to be relicked a little bit. But there's
looks like
a flying
dot,
V.
like a dot.
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
flying
like,
V,
like the Gothic ones.
Yeah, and the SG.
You remember
as
the
well.
Gothic ones? I love those. The Voodoos and the Gothic ones.
Voodoos were
ones,
my favorite, but Gothics were also cool.
The little moon and the 12th fret, and the Voodoos, they had like the sun-blasted red finish.
They go for
They
lots
look
of money
pretty
now, or rather,
Yeah.
a good deal of money.
Do you remember they had pickups? Those kind of I think they had translucent pickups, and they had the copper was very reddish, so
Yes.
it looked pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes.
But the SG, like this is the prime example why I was a little bit like surprised that they called it the exclusive collection. I mean that SG just looks
It's an
like
ebony SG. There's no
like an ebony SG. There's nothing special about it at all.
But
It's just
I
like-
genuinely do not care that much about the ebony ones. It's the olive drab.
Yeah,
But they didn't do the
yeah.
olive drab in the 335s, so they must bring that into production. An olive drab
Yeah.
335. It's just a beautiful guitar. That color just absolutely nails it. Absolutely nails it.
Not the Les Paul special. That was pretty sexy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well,
And the
it's time to buy, borrow, or burn, and then run to
All
our
right.
guest. So let's
Yeah.
borrow or burn.
Borrow or burn.
Did it? Oh, I was enjoying that, so I didn't change my screen.
All right.
Right. Okay. With HP42 as the stream boss at the moment, we're going to bring Anthony on in a moment. Before we do, we need to know which picks you're going to buy, which picks you're going to borrow, and which picks you're going to burn. And we can even ask
All right.
Anthony that when he comes on. I'm going to guess that Dan, can I go for my guesses first?
Yeah, sure.
I think you would borrow the Zeus pedal. I think
Okay.
you would buy the Ibanez acoustic, one of them. And I think you would burn the Ebony Gibsons because, yeah.
Duh.
Was I
spot
close?
on.
Was I close? Was I spot on?
Yeah. That was spot on,
Hey!
yeah.
Okay, so
Actually-
RJW4. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. No, I'm a little bit like it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy because the pedal, the Zeus, you've got the pedal already, so that's pretty obvious
True,
that I could borrow
true.
that from you. But with all the promotion that you did, that would probably something that I'd also consider buying if it's that good. And this is maybe a letdown, but the only thing that kind of you said that the tone was so great, and I was checking where I read about the 200 clon, oh no, 2000 clon Centaurs, and that was on Gear News. And let me cite Gear News, and this is like a big letdown. They say like, I'm a little bit disappointed by the sound in the videos. Sounds a little bit flat and very generic. And they have linked your video.
Yeah, Gear News, if you're listening, they wrote, "There's a demo." They didn't credit me at all. I appreciate you posting the video, but you know who I am. I know who you are. Put my name on there. All right? Let's be
Yeah.
friendly.
So
And there
Claudius,
is
next
there is
time.
no way that my video sounds flat. You can go jump. And I mean that. Me and you behind the bike sheds after school, we're going to do it. We're going to see who's flat.
Oh boy, I didn't mean to put you in a rage. So yeah,
You know me, I
Hats off.
occasionally go off on one. Let's just do
I know.
Hennings, burn the Epiphone, borrow Ibanez acoustic because he knows Danny will send me one. I don't think he will, not after your behaviour tonight, Dan. Henning. Buy the Paoletti or Andy's hair. All right, Dan, do my pick. Let's see if you get it right.
All right, I'm doing your pick. You would have a hard time burning any of this stuff, but you would definitely go to buy the Zeus, to borrow the Paoletti guitars, and they're probably not too special. Yeah, but probably borrow the Paoletti guitars and burn the acoustics.
You're pretty close. Pretty flipping
All right.
close.
All right.
I wouldn't actively burn those acoustics, just so you know. We've got 6 choices, so it seems rude. But I would. Can we take the Zeus out of it because I already have it? So that's a bit silly.
Sure. Well, then the olive drab Les Paul special.
Yeah, go on then. That'll do. But what I'd really like to do is I would really like to have the Paoletti. I think that I would possibly buy a Paoletti.
Like the Jazzmaster version?
Yeah, I think it's very close for me. It's very close. Yeah. So we're close. We're close enough that I will accept what you said. I just don't. I don't want to burn those acoustics. But what else could I burn?
Yeah, you could borrow one from me. You know, I've got them at home already. So this is my
I mean,
one.
if you're going to lend that to anybody, it would probably be me, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Next time you visit me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
First time I visit you.
That is right, and we've got a studio to build.
We've got tasks to do. Right. Well, we are an hour into the show. We're running a little bit long today, and we would love to bring in our guest because I like the impossible. Dan, are you a fan of the impossible?
Absolutely. I hate routine, and I love if someone says, "Well, that's impossible," because then I want to kind of nail it, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, actually, we're late today, but we're also late like a week. But now
we are late a week
here.
But I had a lot of fun last week with Orange, and there was a lot of stuff going on that I can't believe it happened. So I'm actually quite thankful that we're a week late. But we're talking King Crimson, we're talking an impossible song, and I guess we'll do the guest pre-roll and bring in our guest. Oh, we'll bring him in a second. There he is. Hello, Anthony.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, Dan. He's on our main screen at the moment. I'm just trying to sort out the screens because they've all been reset. So hang on.
Hey, congratulations on 40,000. I know it hasn't totally happened yet, but I saw the video about the giveaway, and I can't wait to fill in the form and get a chance to win something.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's not happened yet, but you know, people might be listening in the future, and it might. It's going to happen at some point.
I can't believe how quickly you've grown from 30 to 40. That's really stunning. Good for you.
Dude. Thank you. Yeah, I mean the channel's great fun, so it should be. And also, I'm also filling conversation because I've got this spinning beach ball of death at the moment, and I'm hoping we don't lose you. You have a guitar there, sir. You have a guitar. What guitar are you playing?
Yeah, I have a couple guitars to share with you today. This one is a custom 7-string that I had built for me. The luthier he was in Turkey. Now he's back in the U.S. He's an American working abroad, but it's a really beautiful guitar. It's a 7-string. It's made out of wenge and what is called Stradivari spruce. It's an Italian spruce that's the same trees that Stradivarius used for his violins.
Right.
And this is entirely handmade, no CNC carving or anything. So every curve, every seam, all done by hand. It's a beautiful guitar.
That is beautiful, yeah.
Wenge fretboard and sapele inlays. You can't really see the inlays too well, but this is my, he calls it the ATG7. Those are my initials, AT and G.
Cool.
And the back has a magnetic
neck through
plate. Yeah, it's a neck through. The electronics are removable, with the fingernail. This was before the Pia model was doing it. But a few years ago. I'm pretty sure I showed Steve this, and then that led him to do it on Pia. But yeah, it's a really beautiful guitar, totally handmade. It's chambered as well, so it's solid through the I think it's solid through the bridge pickup, and then I had it hollowed out around the neck pickup. See if we can get a little more resonance on the neck pickup. It's fun to play. Then the frets are a little thin. I'd like to refret this with thicker frets, but it's a beautiful guitar. And then I have my 9-string back there, my Ibanez, that was just repainted by our friend Renee King that I thought I would show off too.
Wow, nice one. Yeah, but this is a very unusual guitar. It reminds me a little bit of the Zappa PRS because it's so small.
I don't know if I've seen that.
That's which one? The one in the background?
No. PRS did a guitar for Frank Zappa's son, and
Dweezil.
There was also Dweezil, yeah, for Dweezil, and that guitar was a little bit smaller too, and had that very reduced lower horn. I mean, this is completely different universe because it's a one-off, but it's pretty cool. Oh, what do we got here? Another piece from
Yeah.
Renee.
So this is a new body painted by Renee, my neighbor.
Wow.
And she really liked this one. I think she did a nice job on it. It's a cool yellow, green, and red. Not a swirl. It's just kind of like this snake sort of pattern. You can see sort of like a snake skin thing going on. All of this is done by hand.
Wow.
And no two bodies are alike because there's some randomization in the process when she's like spinning guitars and stuff. But the
That's
9-string,
cool. Beautiful.
The Ibanez 9-string, this one's really just pretty stunning. My camera is desaturated. I wish it had better color, but this guitar is just beautiful.
Not digging
And
that.
she did the back too, which is more of a traditional swirl type finish. You can't really see it. I don't think the resolution is going to come through, but it's beautiful. I'm posting pictures on the Make Weird Music Instagram channel, but I can't wait to get this guitar back together. It's got a Mad Hatter. Whoops, there's a fan up there. It's got a Mad Hatter kit in it that I have to rewire.
All right. Okay. Cool. Wow, that's a beautiful guitar. Yeah, but why 9 strings?
I am not like a super metal player, but I actually play a lot of classical music, and I did this. I took Bach's Piano Partita No. 1 and arranged it for guitar, and it required beyond a 7-string, and then it required beyond an 8-string. And I thought, where am I going to find a guitar? And I remembered going to NAMM a few years ago and seeing this 9-string RG and thinking, what kind of moron would buy this guitar? And there I was years later looking to purchase it. Or as Andy says, a doo-doo head, I think.
Yeah.
I still remember when the year.
I'm very
the year
grateful
before that,
Ibanez offered it, though.
Yeah, I still remember. It's a pretty similar story. The year before that, I think they released the 8-string guitar, and they had a 9-string prototype on display. And I was walking by the display and was saying like, all right, we have 7, we had 8, but who's buying a 9-string? I mean, come on, that's just like, a show-off piece, basically. And 1 year later, it was like a serious model, and you ended up buying one. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's funny. I really thought it was the most ridiculous guitar I'd ever seen. And then I was arranging this music and I thought, geez, do you really want to go to like a 10-string, like a touch guitar or the Chapman stick? I can tap, but I don't like only tapping. And it just turns out this 9-string was the perfect thing. And I tuned the low B, or the lowest string, the 9th string, I tuned it down to a B0, which is the same note as a 5-string bass. So I have the full range of a 5-string bass and a 6-string 24-fret Ibanez guitar.
I want it. I don't know why I need it. Let's talk about Fracture.
Absurd,
Can we
it's really fun to play.
I need to talk to you about Fracture because I am not a fan. and I need to talk to you because I want to understand this music. You know, it just it. And we're starting off. This is a strange way to start, but it doesn't do anything for me at all, apart from slightly confuse and slightly annoy me. And
So that's the normal response. You should be perfectly fine. You know?
okay, but I've had that reaction years ago. I had that reaction with Jimi Hendrix and also with Johnny Cash, both of whom I'm huge fans of now. And it took me years, longer than most people, to understand why that music is enjoyable. So hopefully, in the next sort of 20 minutes, that'll change for me and King Crimson and Fracture. So go. No pressure.
Okay, so Fracture is this piece of music that's 11 minutes long. And the most interesting thing for a guitarist is this 3-minute section called moto perpetuo, which means perpetual motion. It's an Italian term meaning don't stop, basically. So when you're playing, there's no rests for 3 minutes. And that sounds, I mean, that's not a lot for a lot of advanced musicians. However, what makes this complex is not only are you playing anywhere from 9 to 11 notes per second for 3 minutes, but you're actually changing strings almost every single note. So there's a lot of right hand movement that if you're used to playing something like, I don't know, Dream Theater or Steve Vai or Joe Satriani, the picking technique is just so unorthodox if you're coming from that angle that you have to retrain yourself how to play. Whereas if you maybe come from the school of really, I don't know, maybe like Al Di Meola or something like that. But even Al Di Meola tried the song and he said, "What the F is this?" And so you really have to have a special technique to play it. And to learn that technique requires many years of study and retraining. Now, that doesn't make the song Fracture any better or more interesting. But if you're a guitarist and you try playing it and you try like actually sitting down and working with it, this is why most people can't do it. And I'm not saying that I'm better or I am special. It took me 22 years to learn how to go from listening to it and feeling pain to being able to play it without any pain for hours on end, outside of the pain I've caused to my marriage from my wife hating this song, probably much more than you, Andy. So it's really, it's not, for some people, they have the ears to hear it and they really love it. And they think this is Robert Fripp's, top compositional accomplishment. From a compositional standpoint, it is well constructed and it's beautiful. But from someone who is looking for some cool guitar music, I wouldn't say it's that. It's really kind of like a tongue twister that's 3 minutes long. And if you are a guitarist and you want to try accomplishing it, it's going to ensnare you. I'm not the only person who has tried this. There are several people, and I've talked to them in my book, Failure to Fracture. And one guy said, "You're lucky it only took you 22 years. It took me 30." And then another guy said his best friend tried playing it and it completely wrecked him. It made him stop playing guitar altogether. So it's really a nightmarishly difficult piece of music that if you try to play it and try to play it as fast and clean as Robert Fripp, it will wreck you.
Wow.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but Fripp has played that already a couple times live, right? So it is like even if he states that it's impossible, like it is possible to play. But even as a trained guitarist, it's kind of tedious to play, or do you find like real enjoyment when you play it? Or is it just like, all right, I made it, like I made the impossible? Like what's the point? Why did you like, what was the spark that initially made you want to learn everything and not just that little piece?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I think of it like climbing Mount Everest or running a 4-minute mile. There's a part of me that thinks, I see people climbing mountains. I'm like, what is with that idiot who wants to like risk his life to go climb to the top of a rock? Like, what is the point of that? And then 4-minute mile, I mean, I used to run, but my best was a 4-minute 50-second mile, and it's kind of like, why would I ever want to shave another minute off of that? Like, that just sounds really stupid because it basically almost killed me. And I think there's a bunch of doo-doo head guitarists like me around the world who who say, hey, I should do this guitar piece, when the rest of the world is saying, why would you try learning that piece? It's so ugly. It's not interesting. I think it takes ears to hear it, and then it takes like a special kind of discipline and focus if you actually want to accomplish it. So I'd say, as to why, it's the same reason why anyone wants to do any very difficult thing. I just decided I wouldn't give up, and I didn't know that not giving up would take me so long.
Yeah. I mean, one could argue that it's even easier to kind of be fit enough to climb Mount Everest than to play that particular song.
You could argue that. I mean, there's real risk of death, if you climb Everest. But if you're a musician and you want to risk sort of your sanity and the sense of like good relationship you might have with an instrument, this will definitely challenge that. It is not an orthodox piece of music, and you cannot just pick up the guitar and start playing it.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I would understand, sorry if I interrupt you, that you need also some sort of understanding for the whole conceptual idea, because that's pretty much what reminds me of what Andy said, that as a guitar player, you kind of develop an ear, you kind of develop a style and also preferences. And when I started playing the guitar, I was no fan of Hendrix either. And the more you mature in the guitar, the more you appreciate certain styles and certain techniques, and also develop an ear for a certain tone, you kind of mature in a certain way and kind of learn to appreciate that stuff. When was that? Was that because you were biased by or already spoiled by Vai, early Vai? And was that a baseline for you, that you already had an ear for very technique oriented playing, or what was the reason?
Yeah, I guess I thought I wanted to be the best guitar player I knew of. And this is well before YouTube. And so I had no idea there were some like 10-year-olds who could run circles around me, today. I just knew that of all the guitar players I had seen in my area of Arizona and heard, on CD and audio cassette on the radio, I just thought I want to be in that same league. And so when I ended up working for Steve Vai, I realized you needed much more than just really great guitar playing. You need to be a business person. You need to be lucky. You need all of these other things. Because I was driving around with guys who were on the cover of Guitar Player magazine. They had full page ads in Guitar World when I'm working for Steve, because Steve works with top of the line guitarists. And I would go out to dinner with them sometimes. Like, I would do roadie work for them, or, whatever, set them up for a clinic. And I'd say, hey, what do you want to do for dinner? And they're like, well, let's do Taco Bell. And I was like, Taco Bell? Like fast food? Why? And they said, that's all I can afford right now. Like, I'm sending all my money home. And I just thought, oh my goodness, like, you can be on the cover of Guitar World magazine and have no money. And that doesn't even, like, you can be one of the greatest guitar players in the world and you still may not have a career that sustains you. So to me, it was just kind of like, all right, well, I'm just going to stick to computers and programming and still try to be a good guitar player, but not worry about being the best and not worry about having a career in it. And Fracture just was always a piece of my, repertoire of something challenging. We all have stuff that we pick up the guitar and we try to do, and Fracture is just that thing for me.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
As I said, I'm warming up to it now. So you're doing a really good job. Not that you have to, but yeah, I'm feeling some kind of understanding of the mental work behind it. And sadly, I'm so out of the loop with King Crimson and Robert Fripp that I only knew Robert Fripp from his Sunday sessions with his wife, Toya.
Toya Wilcox, yeah.
Toy Wilcox, which I think couldn't be further from what I heard when I heard Fracture. And I even wondered, like, forgive me now, guitar players around the world, I wondered if this guy sat next to Toya Wilcox had been playing guitar for like a week or two, because his playing in those sessions is awful. It is terrible, and that's coming from someone who can barely string a melody together. I'm not a great guitar player, but his playing, and I mean, there are two very big reasons why he's not very good at guitar in those videos, and that's a boob joke.
Jeez.
Just let that one sit for a minute. Just let it fester, and there we go. It's gone now. It's gone. But yeah, I thought his playing in those sessions is mostly awful. I'm very entertained. You know, I'm not knocking it as an entertainment piece, but then to hear Fracture and his playing in that section was like, no, that's not the same guy. So what is going? Is it possible, like, to play a piece like Fracture, but also be able to play a pop song? Like, what's
yeah,
the relation there?
It is possible, of course, but Robert plays in his own tuning. He doesn't play in standard tuning. He plays in something he calls new standard tuning, and he calls what we play old standard tuning.
Oh wow! Okay.
So his new standard tuning, I have a guitar tuned to it. Let me get it.
That was interesting.
Suspense.
I keep my RG 565 tuned to his tuning. It's almost like you almost get the range of a 7-string. So let's see. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he tunes C, G, D, A, E, G. And so it's tuned in fifths, except for the highest string, which is a minor third above the second string. So what we call the B string, he actually tunes all the way up to an E. So it's almost like a 5-string guitar, because the first string, you don't get a whole lot of benefit out of it. It's only a minor third above. So at the 3rd fret, that's the unison note. So you only get a little bit extra out of that, but the 24th fret, you're getting a minor third higher. So it's actually a G instead of the E on the 24th fret. But the nice thing is you get that really low range. It's almost, it's 1/2 step higher than the low 7th string on a 7-string guitar in standard tuning. So when Robert is playing a song, what we do, da 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 dun dun dun, whatever. But Robert, he's trying to play these original standard tuning songs in this new tuning, and it's not what he plays. Like, so it's kind of like he's doing it for fun and for the humorous effect of it. And his guitar playing is obviously the least important part of it. And when he's making mistakes, she starts their weekly videos with him yelling "Bullocks," So I think it's just part of this shtick they have, where he is the guy always wearing a suit, who's very serious guitar player, who's being forced to play these Britney Spears songs and Ozzy Osbourne and who knows what else, But yeah, to play a normal chord in his tuning is not what we would do. Like we play a major chord that looks like this, but it doesn't sound right. Obviously, it's a different tuning. So if you think of like an upside down G chord, like we have on the, there, if you flip it upside down because it's tuned in fifths, then you end up with a major chord. So it's like another way that he's special and different. He doesn't play in standard tuning. He doesn't play pentatonic, blues scales. I mean, he might, but he's oriented his whole life around the way that he plays guitar and approaches guitar. So for him to play, Paranoid is not his thing. So that's also what makes it funny. And now they have this guy, Sidney Jake, who plays with them, whom I'm actually interviewing him on Friday on Make Weird Music. And Sidney plays in both standard and new standard tuning. And Sidney's a super interesting dude, but he kind of brings the whole thing together. He'll play the pentatonic riffs and the leads and stuff like that. But Fracture itself is not even as hard as the sequel song, which is called Fractured, which was released about 30 years later. And I do have a video of myself playing that as well on the channel.
Okay, may I firstly say thank you. I'm even closer to. I mean, I'm really excited now, and I felt no warmth at all, and now I feel energy. So thank you, but also apologies to everybody that's listening to this right now. And it's gonna sound like I'm backtracking, but I'm not. I'm just picking on my appreciation. It's my lack of understanding, not Robert Fripp's playing, and to kind of backtrack or to explain myself, I couldn't see the connection, and you've just explained the connection to me. And also, I wasn't watching his hands, so I wasn't watching what he was playing. And I believe that if I was watching his hands, then there'd be something wrong with me. So
you might realize that he's not playing standard chords, and the way he plays melodies is a little strange, but yeah.
okay.
If you want to see him shred, there's a video from 2000 where he's playing Fractured live in Germany, and the stuff he is playing is so absurd. I mean, it is just one of the most ridiculous displays of guitar dominance. I challenge any guitar player to watch that and replicate what he's doing. It's just mind-bending. I can, on my best days, I can play as quickly and cleanly as he's playing in that live performance, but certainly not in front of a camera, not in front of thousands of people. I mean, the guy is a total beast on the guitar. He just only does it when he feels like it or when it's appropriate. Otherwise, yeah, he's doing these YouTube things now.
But I love it. I love that he's having fun. I mean, to be at that level that you're describing, and to also do this thing he's doing on YouTube is that, for me, that's what music is. It's fun. It's something to enjoy. It's something to share. It's something to make people come together. And it's the opposite reaction to what I had to Fractured when I first heard it. But now, thanks to you, I want to go back and listen to it and really get into that section. I will be honest with you. I'm probably never going to attempt to play it. But now at least I can feel an in to understand, careful, to understanding the emotion within that song. There we go.
Well, let me tell you just a few things about what makes it really hard. First of all, he plays with a sharp pick. He recommended these Dunlop Tortex sharp picks to me a long time ago, but he has his own custom pick made. Mm-hmm. So he plays with a custom pick. It's a black triangle. It has this, what do they call those? The Celtic knot. It has a Celtic knot drawn on it.
Right.
I don't know if you can see it. It'll go out of focus, but it's a black triangle. So he only plays with these picks. They're custom made for him and the people who have studied with him. Then he doesn't like hold his wrist on the bridge of the guitar to pick. You know, a lot of us will kind of anchor our hand on the bridge. He actually keeps his hand completely free floating like this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he keeps his hand in this particular shape, and it looks like this. He told me, you'll never play Fracture unless you can do this. So that's bending your straight thumb from this knuckle. So try this. Stick your fingers out, sort of like you're going to handshake, right?
Okay.
And then curl your fingers in as though you're holding like a pencil. I actually have a pencil here. So
okay.
There's like enough room for a mechanical pencil. Okay. Yeah, there you go. You want it to be loose enough that it's not like a fist. Your knuckles shouldn't be white. It should just be curled around the pencil, right? And then straighten your thumb just like this and bend it from here down on top of your index finger. So
Sorry, can't see my hand. Yeah.
Dan, that wasn't bad, but Andy, your thumb is bent. You want a straight
Oh, it's got to be
thumb.
straight.
Yeah. And you don't bend it from the knuckle at your wrist either. It's only this knuckle. Yeah, so Dan,
I only have that
see...
knuckle.
Yeah, so you have to reconnect with it mentally. So the way he holds the pick is different. It's called psychophysical re-education, where you re-identify how to use this knuckle and only this knuckle, okay? And you move that thumb, the straight thumb down. What a lot of people do is they'll kind of force their index finger back underneath their thumb, and then they'll just practice, moving this joint only. So he holds the pick like this, and he said, Anthony, unless you can do this, you'll never play Fracture. So not only like is it about the pick and the hardware, it's the use of your thumb. And then they don't, like in his teaching, it's not, you don't change strings with your wrist. Like a lot of guitarists will change the strings kind of like this, moving their hand, like this. Robert moves the whole arm with the elbow. So your elbow moves your hand to the right position, and then your wrist keeps the pick moving. So you have to relearn, this type of picking. And the reason is because when you're playing these songs, you're literally changing strings 10 or 11 times per second. And I'll demonstrate. It's like this. It's hard to see with the microphone. Oops. So you got to like do that for about 3 minutes. So every time you play a note, it's a different string. And the only way you can do that is by moving your elbow. Okay. So you move your elbow to the string, and then you move the pick with your wrist through the string. It's a very, very intentional way of using the pick. And he has a saying, how we hold the pick is how we live our lives. So if we are just sloppy and holding the pick, then we're probably sloppy in other areas of our lives. But if we're really intentional about how we hold and use the pick, then we're probably intentional about how we live our lives. And he says when he's adjusted thousands of hands on the guitar, and he adjusted mine too in the week I spent with him in the middle of Mexico. He gets down on his knees and he takes your hand and adjusts it so it's just right. And he says just in that moment, he can feel the resistance of an entire lifetime. So you can tell, like if you're teaching someone guitar and then you try getting them to hold their hand properly on the instrument, and you just immediately see their habits come through, like they immediately want to bend their wrist the wrong way or whatever. You see that sort of lifetime of training of developing bad habits. And so he uses the guitar sort of as an instrument of philosophy, so that holding the pick turns into something much more meaningful. And to be able to play Fracture, it requires a connection with your body and using your body and relaxing it that you just don't get anywhere else. And so in the course, I don't even remember playing the guitar. Like I spent a week in his course. I didn't play guitar for about 2 or 3 days. You go there to learn how to sit and how to stand and how to breathe and use your body. Like they have a whole half-hour class on just having the guitar on your body and sitting and standing. So it's not like a normal course. Probably his last one is coming up this October in New York. But I'm not going to say my book is a substitute for it, but a lot of what I'm talking about is documented. It's a 320-page 3-pound book, full color. It's a really unique, probably the most strange guitar book you'll ever see. And you can get it at failuretofracture.com. But I try to outline everything I've learned, not how to do it, but everything I've learned, because I spent so many years failing to do this. And it took me a long time to just understand some of the basics of what Robert just does intuitively, and what he teaches his students.
Yeah.
Andy, your mind looks pretty blown by this knuckle thing.
You were so close to me adopting this way of thinking, and then you made me learn that I have a knuckle that I didn't know I had. and now I want to check my body for other knuckles that might be there that I didn't know were there.
So he has a practice called the practice of doing nothing, and he calls it
I'm
sitting
listening.
practice. And you just sit and you scan through your whole body and relax everything. So he'll say, now bring your attention to the top of your head, and you relax. You give it permission to relax, and then you move to your forehead and your eyebrows and your eyes and your cheeks and your lips. Every part of your body you scan, and it takes about 15 minutes to go through that, and then you do it again, and that's when you realize where you're holding stress. So after you've told everything to relax, and then you go back and do it again, you start identifying the areas that automatically tensed up again. And this goes back to the way you hold the pick is the way that you live your life. So if you clench your jaw while you're playing, you probably clench your jaw when you're not playing. And so when you go through this relaxation exercise, then the second time you go through your body, you feel the stress in your jaw. For me, it was jaw and hips. And then when I pick up the guitar to play something really difficult like Fracture, I realize, oh, I'm doing that too. And so he goes, while you're playing, he tells you, okay, bring your attention to your left leg. So you want to make sure while you're playing that your left leg is stress-free and your knees aren't locked. And, you do this through your whole body. So I'll be practicing Fracture for a couple of hours, really focusing on my shoulders, my elbows, my knees, my feet, where my ears are with respect to my shoulders. All of these things factor into the ability to play it. So it sounds like it's total madness, which I would say it kind of is, but this is why it takes everyone who has played it has taken a decade or longer to play it.
Wow. It's a very holistic approach. I mean, to me, it's a little bit to some degree, a little bit of Vai-ish, but also it has a lot of that kind of physiotherapy approach that you can only play a difficult piece if from head to toe you're completely relaxed and you're zoomed in, and you don't battle with memories, or you battle with what you had for lunch, or if you had an argument with your girlfriend or wife or whatever. I really like that he's so deep, and it even gives me a better understanding how you could kind of blow up that whole learning process of dealing and playing Fracture to that amazing book that you just presented to us, because there's so much more to it. It's not just a song. It's basically how you approach guitar playing, and maybe even how you approach your life. It's very deep.
Absolutely. And he has tons of this content for free on the King Crimson website, DGM Live. If you look for the Guitar Craft book, all this material is available, like the philosophical pieces. And there's a page of aphorisms, which are things that you only know are true when you've done them. So he'll say something like, it is impossible to achieve perfection, but perfection may be pursued. And it sounds kind of like somebody said he was Yoda in his past life. I saw that comment. And yeah, it does kind of seem that way. But once you experience what he's talking about, it starts making sense. But if you don't know what he's talking about, you'll read it and you'll go, this guy is the biggest BS artist I've ever seen. The thing is, the proof is in the pudding. He can play stuff no one else can play. He is unbelievably fast and unbelievably skilled at this instrument, and he's applied it to his life. So it's so far beyond just playing the guitar. So if you take a course from him, you're actually getting a course on philosophy that happens to be about the guitar.
Hmm. That's very cool. Could you, by any means, like show us the perpetuum idea,
Yeah, sure. Let me get the other
just
guitar.
to
Actually, I
get
can do it
a
on this
better
one.
understanding? Yeah, just to get a better understanding. And one more question about this guitar: what kind of strings are you using for that new tuning?
So I will take a set of 10s and a set of 9s, and I'll just skip sort of strings. Um, I'll take the 9 from the 9 set and turn it into the high G. Then I'll take the 9 or the 10 from the 10 set and turn it into the E. And then I'll take the G from the 9 set and turn it into the A. And the D can be the same because the D is the same on both tunings. So, they do sell custom sets, or you can go buy a custom set. But typically, that's what I'll do. This guitar happens to be strung with Elixir NanoWeb 10s, I think. And it took a long time to get this guitar configured with the floating trem for that tuning, because since it's not standard tuning, you get the low C, and that requires less tension, on that spring. So I think I have 4 springs on this guitar. Yeah. So my spring configuration is
Whoa.
like this.
All right, so three strings for the higher, like the thinner.
Yeah, 3 on the
strings,
high end and 1 on the low.
Whoa, okay.
So,
Interesting.
it's kind of like if you're going to be a professional athlete, like Tiger Woods, he has a shirt with one sleeve shorter than the other, and people are like, why? That sounds so stupid. Well, if you want to play like Tiger Woods, he has his weird ideas. So this is what it requires. Or any athlete, like they have a shoe brand they prefer, they have materials they prefer. So you've got to tune your guitar, for tension and all this stuff if you're going to do this other tuning. So yeah, this guitar is just the standard RG 565 with the Mad Hatter kit and those four springs. But the song Fractured primarily there's the first sort of half of it that revolves around a 2-string motif that goes like this. I might need a little warming up. It's hard because you've got to stretch this, like you've got a 5-fret stretch in the middle of this riff. Jeez, sorry, I'm out of practice. So that's like one just continuous run where it's nonstop playing. And then later on, he has these runs that they span multiple strings, and it goes like this. I can't play it. It's been too long, but it's just nonstop, and I'm playing it slower than the recording. yeah. The recording is actually like that's one of the runs, but he plays it clean and faster, live. It's stunning. I don't have distortion on it, and I can't even hear myself. I don't have an amp, but you get the point. It's just a lot of notes in 15/8. And then you're changing time signatures, and it's just nonstop. So Fractured is more of a set of sprints, lots of notes in a sprint, and there's like 9 sprints. whereas fracture is just one long 3-minute stretch of nonstop playing and string skipping.
Wow. Freaky spiders, like one of our viewers just posted. A lot of stretchy.
yeah, exactly. And I have some spider finger exercises that I've put in the book that aid in some of this. So there's one that goes like this. Let's see. Oh, it goes up. Sorry. So you want to like develop finger independence, and another one goes like this. And of course, on the picking hand, you're not resting on the bridge. So the picking is very jumpy. It's like this. And then you can skip more strings. But you can see I'm not planting my wrists. So you develop this practice of skipping 2 or 3 strings at a time at a high tempo, you know. So you sort of develop these weird exercises that help you. You know, other people will have their own exercises, but these are just some of the ones that I've come up with.
Wow. Thank you very much for those insights. And one part of the book is what I really find intriguing and interesting is that you kind of described and also notated some of your like training routines. So you kind of take the reader on that journey, how you kind of develop the abilities to finally, like more than 20 years later, be able to play that song, but how you created your own little pieces and chunks of training, training bits. And this is what really stood out for me. That it's a very personal book to that degree too. That you really get an insight
when you
into
live with
what you
people
practiced. Sorry.
Yeah, when you live with people who hate the music you play, you have to write your own music that it gives you the same practice.
Yeah.
My wife has said, I don't like the music you make, but I'm very glad you make music.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
That is
that's lovely.
nice. Yeah. That's very nice. So if you wanted to kind of play that song in a, let's say in a band situation,
Don't.
how long would it take you? No? Okay. All right. Now,
the other band part, or the parts for the other band members aren't nearly as complex. It's more time signature changes and dynamics and keeping the tempo. Because if the drummer is playing fast, then you're kind of lost,
Screwed.
you know. Because if you're so if you're playing, like, the ideal tempo for me and others seems to be between 125 and 130 beats per minute. But Robert, in the current incarnation of King Crimson, he plays with a click track, and the whole band is playing 138 beats per minute. So Robert is able to do that because he cut out the part where there's a lot of that string skipping. So primarily it's this, except he's playing this other riff from the original Fracture, because they don't play the Fractured anymore. It was too hard, and it just wrecked the band too many times. So they play. And what's tricky about this riff in particular is you got to keep this motif going. This. Yep. I don't play it that well in the new tuning, but that's effectively the issue. You have to, in the new tuning, it exercises your weak fingers, your pinky ring fingers. 50% of the notes, I think, are with the pinky in the new tuning. So it's made even harder in the new standard tuning. It's just like, if you want to play the hardest, ridiculous thing that your wife won't enjoy, you know, definitely pick up this book.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. So Anthony, when you were with Robert, kind of trying to learn his techniques and the song, could he sense that you already spent so much time and energy in learning that song? Was you know, because I assume that he has a lot of students, but not everyone has dedicated a major part of his life to just learning one of his songs. Was that something that he could sense, or was it something that you exchanged on, or how did it go?
Well, I had actually written something in 2006 that he wrote about in his online diary. And so he knew from a long time ago, but I told him, Robert, you may not remember this, but many years ago, I wrote about fracture, and you responded on your online diary. Robert has an incredible memory. I mean, he could tell you, oh, if you watch his Agony Ants videos, he's like, oh yes, in late March of 1978, I was with so and so. I was with Eric Clapton and Peter Frampton in the backstage of this venue, and we went out for he. That's just how his brain works. So if you mention something that he's done or something he's written about, he will remember. And he remembered from that conversation. I had said, hey, you wrote to me about fracture in 2006 and 2007, and I just wanted to thank you for that guidance. It definitely helped me. And then he started giving me a couple of fracture tips, but he did say something that I thought was pretty funny. Robert has a very sarcastic sense of humor, and there was only one seat left at tea time at his course, and it was next to him. And so I got in the room, there's one seat, and I was like, oh no, I have to sit next to Robert. I was like, this is not good. So I sat down, and he goes, would you like a stale cracker? And I said, sure. So he passed over this plate of stale crackers. I ate one, and he said, you must be having a very hard time in this course. And I was like, oh great, here, this is the pillow before the punch. He's gonna really dig into me. And I said, okay, Robert, well, why do you say that? And he said, because you have demonstrated proficiency and your peers have not. And so it actually was a compliment. But then he proceeded to give me really difficult exercises throughout the course, including one where it was this riff from a song called Frame by Frame. And it's one of the hardest things that I've ever encountered on the guitar. And it's just a simple riff. It's a pentatonic thing. It goes, I'll get a guitar.
I won't. I'm just going to sit here.
Yeah, no, me neither. Oh, jazzy jazz. It's a Benson. Is that not
Yeah,
Benson?
yes. It's an acoustic,
All right.
but
All right.
So it's this riff. That sounds pretty simple, but when you're playing 16th notes at like 145 beats per minute, so you got to do this for like 90 seconds, right? And he moves it up, It's really, really, really hard. And of course, in this course, he's giving me harder things to play. So he'd tell the rest of the class to be playing like something like that. But then he would give me some harder stuff and say, for the high flyers, play this. Well, finally, he gave me that riff, and I was like, oh no. As soon as he started playing it, I knew I was in trouble. And then I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't. I tried again. And then he goes, next time, don't try so hard. And, I was like, oh, geez. Well, there's the insult. But then I realized he was actually giving me advice because effortlessness or like good performance comes from effortlessness, and that's what the whole course is about. So if you try, you won't do it. And that's the problem with fracture. The moment you try hard to do, the moment you think about, okay, I'm going to do this, is the moment it falls apart. But when you just take a breath and relax and you try doing it, and that's why all these people make the same face, like they're dead inside. It's called guitar craft face. And the idea is you're just relaxed. Even if it looks like you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's just kind of like I'm channeling all of my focus into being present and relaxed and listening and trying to play my best without trying.
I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
Is there any connection between Robert Fripp and Radiohead? Because that was very Paranoid Android then, and I had not epiphany, but a moment where I went, "Oh, that sounds like one of the parts of Paranoid Android from OK Computer."
It's possible, but I don't think Robert knows any of them. I guarantee you they have heard plenty of King Crimson.
That's what I mean. I think it's not a bi-directional communication. I really think that they will have stolen that riff, that section, and put it in Paranoid Android. I now need to look into that because I have an in.
Yeah. Well, Fracture came out they played it live. The recording on Starless and Bible Black is live, and it's from 1973. I think the album came out in 1974, and Robert has said even recently to be able to play Fracture requires 80% of his time, like when he's practicing, and his wife makes him play in the basement because she doesn't want to hear it. It's a common theme, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they heard it, because kind of like it's thought of as like Robert's one of his compositional, masterpieces. So wouldn't surprise me if they were inspired by it.
I'm gonna have to research. I did just try researching it. I just came across some crazy thread on Reddit that I'm not going to go into now. So
yeah, I know I'm going on and on, but there's obviously in 22
it's all gold,
years,
man.
there's
It's
so
all
much
gold.
Good.
And to me, it dawns on me a little bit that it's not really that you playing the song; it's more like the song playing you throughout your whole life.
Yeah, and that's why I have a section in the book called "Who Saved Who," because it feels like the song directed my life in a way that I didn't expect, and just the pursuit of playing it led me down this crazy path that has helped me in every aspect of what I do, from parenting to being a husband to managing teams to running my own business to running a YouTube channel to whatever it is. It's changed how I live my life. And Steve Vai actually, he kind of kicked it all off with this discussion about mindfulness with me in his studio just a few months before I left for the guitar course with Robert. And I sent Steve the book, and he called me like a week later raving about it. He's like, this book is the perfect storm. You would not believe. He's like, you did it. I can't believe you did this book. He's like, I don't generally read books from front to back, but I am reading this book. He couldn't get over it. And I was like, I'm at lunch. I get a call from Steve Vai. I'm like, hello. And he's just talking like 5 minutes straight, raving about this book. So I think if you're into any sort of challenge on an instrument, you're gonna dig the book, because it's about, I call it a musical autobiography. It's like how I lived my life through the process of learning this song.
Yeah, that's very good.
I have to say,
I enjoy reading it.
So many things, but there's not enough time. But what I will say is that I don't ever see myself, quite honestly, having the time or the motivation to go as deep as you have. But what I can say is I can shave a little bit off the top that will influence me and will go into my playing. And it doesn't even seem like an improvement on my playing, even though it probably would be. It seems like a way of approaching it, and just an appreciation of the music. And I'm always looking for new ways to appreciate music and guitars because I'm around them all day, and it can get a little bit samey. And that's an awful thing to say, but it's true. It's the same with anything. And talking to you tonight has really, I don't. It's not too new agey to say it's inspired me, but it's really changed me in a way that I did not expect to be changed, because I came into this, as I said, very cold and not anti it, but just I came into nothing it.
Yeah.
And that's great. So thank you so much. And
thank you,
I
Andy.
urge people
Thank
to
you,
go
Dan.
and get the book. It's Dan and I both have the book, and we've been reading parts in research for this episode, and I now know that I need to go and read it at least twice again.
Yeah.
Because now I'm finally emotionally involved, and I have to be emotionally involved in something to actually do it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate all of that. I can tell you the book is $100. It's an expensive book, but it costs almost $60 just to print. It's a very nice, it's a high-end book, and there's no money, there's no profit. You know, this is an art project. There's a lot of cost to recoup and that kind of thing. So, but I can tell you, like, everyone who has opened this book, the first thing they say is, wow. They don't know anything about guitar, sheet music, whatever. But the way this book has been printed and bound, you know, the whole manufacturing process, the quality of it is all very present. And I feel like I had almost nothing to do with it. So my words are in it, but like my friend Dave designed it, and a couple of companies here in Phoenix, Arizona printed and bound it. And it's one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen, despite my content being in it. Yet people, like plenty of people have said, this is a great book. So if you don't care about, you know, music, it's just a great coffee table book, like an art book. But to the question on the screen, is there an ebook version? No, and that's on purpose. First, there's the cost of the digital rights of the sheet music. And then secondly, we don't want to diminish the experience of the book itself. It's meant to be a physical thing. It wasn't meant to be a mass product. We figured we would sell 200 of them, period, ever. And we've probably sold, I don't know, 300 so far, and it's still doing pretty well.
Wow.
But even for $100 book with basically no profit, you know, unless we get thousands of people buying it, it's just going to be a labor of love, and it won't ever be a digital thing. There might be a reader's edition, like a paperback version that comes out later.
I mean, it's probably misleading a little bit if you only reduce it, like I said previously, to just a song, because it holds so many more lessons. And you know, that kind of Yoda approach or Vi approach to kind of take that song as a vehicle on how to look at life in general is probably what I took from that book when I was, you know, not reading through everything, but most parts of it, and some very valuable lessons, and like Andy already said, some chunks of wisdom. So I can highly appreciate everyone to check out the books if you can, you know, get your hands on it, and you know, with distribution. I don't know if it's available worldwide, or are there any restrictions?
Yeah, so there are 2 editions of the book. Well, let me put this down. There's the Fancy Pants edition that you can get at failuretofracture.com. Right. We don't call it the Fancy Pants edition, but it is fancy. And that's the $100 one, but you have to pay shipping, and international shipping's like $42 or something like that. Like, that's the cost. It's not profit. So just so everyone knows, it's expensive. Then there's the print on demand version, which is even thicker. It's like an inch thick or something. Same beautiful cover, but still full color, but like the color quality is just not the same. It's still tons of sheet. It's all the same content, the same design, but the pages aren't shiny. You know, like on the Fancy Pants edition, when you run your finger over the sheet music like this, you can literally feel it. It's like there's 4 layers of black ink. and you can feel the sheet music. You can smell the ink coming from the page. So the Fancy Pants edition, you can get at failuretofracture.com, but you have to pay for shipping, but it comes directly from us, from the publisher and myself. And then the print on demand edition, you can get at amazon.com or Barnes & Noble, or there's a few other online retailers. But typically you'll get free shipping because they have a printer on that continent, and it's $10 cheaper, the price itself. So this is $90. And if you get through Amazon or something, you'll get free shipping, or the Fancy Pants edition, which is $100, and you pay for shipping. But I got to tell you, if you're going to spend $90 on a book and you're international, spend the $140 and get the nice, like the shiny paper edition. I had a friend who compared them both, and he said, this is 10 times better. Yeah, so this guy, Alien Spore Bomb, I forget his real name, but he bought a copy, and he's right. It even smells expensive. Everyone who picks up this book is like, it's an experience. They don't care about the content. They just flip through every single page. Every page is different. It's not a normal book. So this page, there's hand diagrams and stuff.
I need
full
that one.
color. Yeah. So it's really just a gorgeous book. Full color spreads. Like, you can see how shiny the pages are. And it's a work of art, honestly. And it's not because of me. It's because of my friend Dave and the printer and all that stuff. So it just happens to be about Fracture.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that with the journey you've been on, you've used that way of thinking into actually producing a physical manifestation of this experience. So I wouldn't expect some sort of cheap printing that's hasn't been thought through. It's really nice to know that it's gone into everything you do. And Anthony, I have to be honest with you, I was not that excited about having you on. I always say that. No, I'm trying to be. I love to be honest, and it does improve. I wasn't that excited because I had no connection, and then I was excited in talking to you, and now I wish I'd never met you because I feel that I have to go and change everything I've done. I'm really worried that I have to go and reset everything. So thank you for that.
Andy, it is my life goal to make people wish they had never met me. So I'm really glad I met my own goal.
You are succeeding, sir. Thank you so much. Genuinely, now it's a beautiful. And people that are listening to the audio version of this, please go and check out the video version, because you get to see some of the playing, get to see some of the book. And really now there is a reason to watch the video version, because this was a great. I was going to say you schooled me tonight, but it's more like you've tucked me into bed. You know what I mean? That's a very.
I don't know what to think, but I do know that it's creepier to think of myself tucking you in.
Great. Then I've achieved my goal also.
If you go to the Make Weird Music YouTube channel, you can see me play the entire Fracture piece and the entire Fractured piece. The mistakes are free, so you get to keep those. And the videos have done pretty well. They're a little controversial because I have my own commentary in the beginning. And people like to, you know it, Andy, people leave the worst YouTube comments for no apparent reason. You work your life on something and they're like, you wasted 22 years of your life doing this.
You suck.
But watch the performances and you'll get a sense of the pieces. And then there's a good unboxing video of the book on failuretofracture.com. And you can see the product that you would be getting, it's pretty cool. So thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. Thanks for your patience.
I'm glad I was able to turn around your level of excitement.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, definitely. I love being honest, and I love it's turned out like this. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations again on your 40,000 giveaway thing. I think that's going to be really, really cool. It's awesome to see your channel growing so quick.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I still love what I do, and I love finding new ways to love what I do. So let's All right, I'm gonna go
Now
plug
let's
in a fuzz
completely
pedal and
change how
play
you play.
some J Mascis.
Yeah. All right, guys, have a good one.
Anthony, thank you
thanks
so much. Thank you.
All right,
Dan,
thanks.
do
Bye.
you want to talk us out?
Yeah, of course. Well, episode 41, that was amazing. I think we've learned a lot. We saw a lot of freaky spiders, and now we gotta go back to the woodshed and practice a little bit more. Thanks to Henning for being our king of the day. Thanks to everyone tuning in, and looking forward to seeing and hearing all of you next week. Anything else? No. 5-star rating on iTunes would be appreciated. You can also leave a comment. And if you wish to buy one of the picks of the week, use Andy's affiliate links and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Ask your girlfriend, your
go and buy a
teacher.
phone for your dog. But absolutely, at least get your friend to buy that book, or your flatmate, or someone you live with, or it's your birthday, because you're bound. I've taken something from it, and I'm very, very, very seldom speechless, and yeah. So there's that.
I think we. Yeah, that's
He
a good
broke
ending
me.
for
He
the show.
broke me.
Yeah, he broke you. He broke the bat.
He broke the bat, and also the Bat Mandalorian. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm waking up again. I'm getting out of this stupor.
Yeah, all good, all good.
If you're watching on YouTube,
Andy.
smash the like. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What, Dan?
Subscribe to the channel. That was the thing I was about to say. Make sure we reach the 40K.
I'm getting
40K
super
before-
nervous
Yeah.
because we're
know.
now at 39,308. So we have less than 700 to go. Make it
We'll
happen.
make it.
Make it so.
We'll make it. Yeah.
Thank you for
All
listening.
right,
Thank you for
looking-
watching. Thank you for joining us live. Dan, thank you for being you. I'll chat to you on WhatsApp in a minute.
Probably. Well, everyone
guys.
else, have a great week. Be kind to each other, and see you soon next week on the Guitar Stories. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, that's me. The video's finished. Bye. You should probably click one of these links in case there's an ending here. There should be a video there, but there isn't. So it's just me freaking out because there's no video overlay. Bye.